Williamsville Sports Weekly is brought to you by your local country financial representative, Ed Legner. Please contact Ed for all your insurance and financial planning needs. His office is located at 318 Crossing Drive in Sherman, and he can be reached at 217-496-2341. But for now, enjoy the show. Welcome to Williamsville Sports Weekly, an in-depth look at both BB and Bullet athletics, hosted by our athletic director Adam Euchre and former Lady Bullets basketball coach John Hampton.
Welcome to episode 110 of Williamsville Sports Weekly, presented by Ed Legner, Country Insurance Financial Representative out of Sherman, Illinois. You visit Ed for all your insurance and financial needs. John, we've been off for a little bit, been a little bit busy. I was out sick the end of last week, and sometimes things just kind of get away from us, but we're back. No guests this week, shortened day today, and we're just going to kind of talk about the regional title game coming up, and more specifically the rivalry that's been established between us and Pleasant Plains, not only in basketball but across sports, and growing in some other ones as well. So it's going to be an exciting atmosphere over there tonight. And as before we started recording here, you said for you, this is what regionals are about: playing a rival at a local gym. Last year we played Pittsfield over at Riverton, and Pittsfield travels very well. But for you, that still wasn't a true regional because it was someone that was outside of our normal realm of who we would play on a regular basis. So for you, this is kind of an old school matchup tonight.
Yeah, this is why, like you talked to a lot of coaches, they say the Friday night of regional of week is the best week of basketball for high school. And you talk to especially the older coaches, like, yeah, this is the best time. And you play somebody you may have played before, at least once. Sometimes you might run into a team for the third time if you played them, locally in a tournament or whatever. But yeah, to me, this is what it's all about. I love Friday regional night, and it's we're playing a team I think we went 4 overtimes with early in the season, and it's each team knows each other really, really well, and it just comes down to kids making plays because the X and O's really don't matter when you know each other so well. It comes down to kids making plays, timely plays, and the crowds will be great. And heck, I don't even coach anymore, but I know most of the kids' names on Plains' team just from reading the newspaper and seeing them play in the county and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be fun. And now you're talking about now we got a big football rivalry. Their football team went to state this year. We beat them during the regular season. Our soccer teams are good. I mean, you go right. Our 2 baseball programs, two probably top 5-6 baseball programs in the state, and you look at it demographically, pretty much twin schools, and academically, we beat them in the Weiss competition. Last year they beat us in the Weiss competition. So it's a lot of fun when both schools get together. There's a lot of good friendships too. It's not a real hardcore rivalry, but it's just a rivalry in results. So it's real fun.
You talked about the storyline, the 4 overtime game, right at the second week of the season over there at Pleasant Plains. We ended up taking that one. That's a storyline coming into it, and I'm sure Coach Weber, who coached underneath you, will have those kids fired up for that. The other storyline, obviously, Coach Beard having graduated from Pleasant Plains. There's that tie-in. We had seen them in the county the last 2 years, so they're in the county title game, so there's that tie-in. Only the second time we've seen them this year. One of the things going back, and this being Coach Beard's 5th straight appearance in the regional title since he's been here. He's been there 5 out of his 5 years here. First 3 years we played Porta, and that first year we had played Porta 3 times. All of them at our place, losing all 3 of those games, eventually then breaking through in that 15-16 season up at Eureka with those heroics by Matt Watson against Pierre Christian, where he had that steal and that three-pointer, and then a three-pointer by graduated last year. Can't even think of his name. I can see him right now. Plays at Lincoln Land.
Jake Pinnell.
Pinnell had that three against Porta to give us that 33-30 win. So a lot of great things. And you said that when we know each other so well, it goes down to kids making plays. We saw that against Riverton. Cody Kirkpatrick knowing our system so well, and Ryan Neville making those plays here, and even that tight game in the first half over at Auburn on Tuesday night, or now with New Berlin in football. And that coaching staff knowing our stuff, having come from Williamsville. So there's a lot of intangibles there and a lot of great things. Going to that rivalry that we talked about, do you remember this rivalry when you were coaching over at Riverton? Was Plains and Williamsville that rivalry, or was it more you guys in Plains? What was that kind of set up? And you being here longer than I've been, when did the rivalry start to be built and start to grow?
Basketball wise, in the 2000, from 2000 about 2010, it was Riverton Plains in boys basketball, because Riverton had been on a roll throughout the 90s, and Plains basketball program started kind of to come to to the level that they've been the last 15, 20 years. In the early 2000s, there was a big game in the semifinals of the state tournament, actually, and I think it was in 2000. It went 2 or 3 overtimes where Plains beat Riverton, and both teams were really good for the next 10 years. So that was the big area basketball rivalry, actually, was Riverton Plains during that time. And then probably since, I'd say probably 2010 on, Williamsville's program's gotten more traditionally stronger each year instead of just having a good team and a down team. And Plains has always been that team since probably mid-90s that you kind of measure yourself up to. So basketball-wise, probably around 2010, around that time, the Plains-Williamsville became the rivalry that it is now. I think with the baseball programs, though, for the past 20, 25 years, they've been the 2 elite programs, Williamsville and Plains, so that rivalry was established there. And then with football, Plains is kind of a new football school, and relatively speaking, and their program's gotten a little bit better over the years, and that's also lended itself. And then probably the two best girls athletic programs, small school in this area for the last 20 years have been Plains and Williamsville. Softball, basketball, volleyball, they're always there. So that's always been, as far as like the girls' rivalry with their sports, it's always been Plains, Williamsville across the board. And both athletic programs are strong. And like I said, academically, both schools are always up there in state test scores, and your local academic competitions, both schools are always up there too. So it's kind of lent itself over the years to becoming a nice little rivalry.
You talk about the baseball rivalry. My first year here, 13-14 school year, in that sectional final, ended up going 14 innings.
Yep.
Plains goes on to win the state title. We're 1 out away from knocking them out, and then they scored, and it went to 14 innings. And then the next year, we're down 3 runs, and that bottom of the 7th, we come through. We finally knock through and get to the state tournament. So It's always there, and you know it's going to be a good game when these two meet. And I would say get there early tonight. Obviously, the 3-point contest
What time
is
does that
first. I believe they draw at 5:35 and then start at 5:40. So game
tip-offs at 7.
Tip-offs at 7. Auburn's got a nice sized gym. Obviously on the far side they have those sideline bleachers. So it was a decent crowd over on Tuesday, but I think it's going to be packed tonight.
I think so too, and hopefully both student bodies will get out. That really makes the atmosphere a lot better, and they know they have end zone seats, and maybe both student bodies can get down in there and have a good time and do it right, but have a good time and make a really good atmosphere out there. Yep.
What was the other interesting thing before we talk about Casey Tuttle and the contest that he's in right now? Looking back through the history of our program, this would be the first time that we have the opportunity to win 3 straight regional titles. We won them back-to-back twice, and then only 1 sectional title back in the 90-91 season. So another chance to make history here. Obviously, we've made history already this season, winning the first ever Williamsville Holiday Tournament, winning the first outright conference title since 2011. So another opportunity for this team to make history tonight.
Yeah, and then it's when you kind of look back, you can see like just different steps with the program. Got made it to 2 regional finals, lost the first 2 years of Coach Beard's tenure, won the last 2 regionals, and now trying to do something never done before, win 3 straight. Probably have never been to 5 regional finals, though that'd be really hard to look up. But if they could win this one, now the next goal is can we get to a sectional final? Can you break through? And this is something you and I have talked about for years. If you get a good program, basically your goal is just be knocking on the door every year, and sooner or later something will happen. You might get a break, or who knows, and you get your step through. And that's what they're trying to do now. We try to get this 3rd straight regional title, and sometimes when you get to the sectional, things loosen up a little bit. At least how we're talking about both teams know everything about each other. Get to the sectional, it's kind of let's go play. let's go play somebody different and see where the chips fall. So hopefully we can get to that point and get up to Farmington next week and play some games.
And that would be on Wednesday. Most likely we'd probably end up playing, I would assume, the host school Farmington. They're playing DMAC tonight. On the other side, you got Porta, another Sangamo school, squaring off against Quincy Notre Dame. And I can't remember who Warsaw is playing in their regional final, but you would assume Warsaw is going to come out here. They returned quite a few people from last year as we beat them in the regional semis over at Riverton. So obviously I had to take care of business tonight, but it would be a great opportunity to go out for our third straight sectional this year as well. So like we said, tip-offs at 7 o'clock tonight. Get over there early so you can get a seat and go support the Bullets. Last thing we're going to talk about before we let you go here, as we talked about being a short show this week, Casey Tuttle making it to the quarterfinals of the American Family Insurance National Three-Point Competition, fan voting competition. And if he gets all the way through, he would be earning the final spot. 3 of them have already been determined. He would earn the final spot, shooting down at the Final Four in San Antonio over Final Four weekend. He's got a substantial lead right now. You can look up on Twitter at WCSD15 Sports. We're posting every single day at about noon where he's sitting at in terms of those percentage points. But this is a great opportunity for Casey. He was selected for this. We didn't nominate them. The company that's behind this competition looked up his stats on Max Preps and selected him. So round 1, he had the largest margin of victory. He's got about a 50% margin of victory right now, leading 75-25%. Wow. So hopefully we can continue to get fan votes out there, but just a great opportunity for him, and hopefully he can make it.
Oh, no doubt, and that shows the community. I mean, our community backs our people, and that's just a great example of our community backing our kids at our school. And I'll be honest with you, I've got him in class, and besides being obviously a good basketball player, just one, and this, I'm not using a cliche here, just one of the better people that we've got in our school. So you go out and vote for him. You'll be sending a kid, that will represent our area as well as any kid could represent it. And just being as a person down there, and who knows how he would shoot, but boy, it'd be a great experience for him. And keep voting for him because he's just a really, really good person, and it'd be great to see him experience that.
And what's so interesting, when you have a shooter like him on the team, obviously everyone focuses on him. A lot of people played box and won this year, chasing him around, which then has opened up for other people like Ryan Neville now,
no doubt,
making a lot of threes in clutch situations. So by Casey being the way he is out there, he is making someone else better.
Oh, absolutely. And now, we've got 2 legit shooters out there. I think that really makes us dangerous, here in the postseason. Not too many people can put 2 good shooters out there and spread the defense. And then that opens up our other 3 players. It just expands the court. You watch college basketball, that's what it is anymore. You put good shooters out there and spread the floor for your point guard. And that really allows Griffin Keebler to do what he does as well. Yep.
Going to be an exciting game tonight. If you can't get over there, you can follow updates at WCSD15 Sports on Twitter. But hopefully we get a big crowd out there, and we'll be back next week for a full show. But until then, remember, it's always better to be a Bullet.